Today I'm going to be talking about lettering tips for your Erin Condren hourly layout planner. So I don't have a ton of experience with this kind of planner. I've never used it personally, but I did decide to apply some of the things that I do in my vertical inkwell press planner to this because they have a kind of a similar layout. The main difference being that the hourly layout also has times on the sides. Now I have two pens here. I have the Papermate Inkjoy gel pen, the 0.7 tip, and I have a Le Pen black. I was testing both of these in this earlier, and the Inkjoy's been one I've been having a lot of fun using lately. I've also love using the Pilot G2 pens for writing in my planners. But I have discovered that when I'm bearing down a little hard, when I'm pressing when I write, that the gel pens tend to push kind of through, like not even just a shadow, but like you can feel it, like you rub your hands on it, you could feel the texture. So if you are heavy-handed like I am and you want to do lettering in your planner, because that does require a little bit more pushing, a little bit more patience and shading, you may not want to use one with such a sharp tip as one of these gel pens. I'm actually going to use this Le Pen. It's a felt-tipped pen. And while they may still shadow if you do too much lettering in it, and that's always a risk with the Erin Condren planner because the paper is a little thinner. If it's a felt tip, it won't leave that bumpy impression on the other side of the page that can be really annoying. Now I'm going to show you a couple of tips for lettering in this planner. If you have something that goes from that you do at the same time every day and you want to mark it in there, but you may not need that space for actual planning. For example, let's say that you work for a few hours in the morning and the work you do does not require you actually using your planner, but you want to mark it the same way that you want to mark it that you're working. You don't need to put anything else in that space. Well, you could letter across, and you could use big cartoon letter like what I'm doing, and I will link the Llamas Love lettering episode that shows this style of bubble lettering in the description box below. But notice that I'm just going sloppy because, I care that much. And for those of you who saw my birthday experience in the Erin Condren horizontal video, yes, I meant to spell work like this. So let's just say you work for the same hours every morning. You could use lettering across the top of your planner because for each day that time is taken up with work or whatever you want to letter across there. So that's one fun thing about using the hourly, is that going through it like that makes total sense because you're working within the hour setup of the day. Another thing that is awesome for hourly planners is utilizing arrows to show something going down. So you could just draw or doodle an arrow. Now I tend to doodle arrows and I don't care if they look kind of janky because my arrows usually do. You could also just do a simple arrow like this and then add some more and shade it in if you want to. You could do a squiggly arrow to show a period of time passing, just fun arrows. Something else I did recently in my inkwell press is I actually wrote, you could do work and once again do negative space lettering like this. But if you have in the word, and again I'm being sloppy, if you have in the word, you have a part of the letter that goes down like this part of the R. I just drew it as a arrow. Looks kind of like a penis, not gonna lie. This very easily could turn into a penis doodle instead of an arrow doodle. That's all your personal prerogative. If you want to doodle penises in your planner, be my guest. I'm not going to be showing that tutorial today. So these are just some ways to doodle time passing. Other ways you could doodle for periods of time in your hourly, you could do simple ass cloud situations like this and then write, or you could write sideways if you want to. You could doodle some boxes. It's fun to just sketch in a box and then do another see loose kind of sketching, things like that. That's if you want to get super scribbly in your planner. So to keep this from being a doodling in your planner, I am going to show one more way that I like to letter in my Inkwell Press vertical that also could work really well for hourly, especially if you're looking to cover a whole mess of time, is to, instead of writing this way, and now most of the tips that I have for writing just lettering this way from the Erin Condren vertical planner, and I'll link that down below as well, those work here just as well because it's the same width. So you have to have the same principles of, like, if you're gonna write like movie, you have to keep it narrow because you have a narrow amount of space. So those same principles of keeping it narrow, keeping it, like, breaking letters up if you need to, or breaking words up if you need to. Those are all kind of similar to that Erin Condren vertical layout. But this one is not one you could do so much in that because of the box format. So if you're going to try and show like a, amount of time passing and you just want to do it with lettering, for example, let's say you're going to practice lettering. You're going to practice your llamas love lettering. And then you can write it out, turn your planner sideways, and write it this way. And you can go and thicken your downstrokes. You know, sloppy ass downstroke thickening. Yeah, that's what she said. Thicken that sloppy ass downstroke. I'm kind of grossing myself out. Ew. But I'm not lying though, this is pretty fucking sloppy. And it's not because I don't care about you all, it's because I want this to not be 80 years long, as is my habit. So you write it that way to take up that amount of time, and then you just turn it like this. Now, you may not like to have sideways lettering in your planner. I, on the other hand, have decided I really like it. You can see some examples here in my Inkwell Press. I hope that you enjoyed this video with a few tips on how to letter and doodle in your Erin Condren hourly planner. I'm going to continue this series over the next couple of weeks with other styles of planner besides just Erin Condren, so keep your eye out for that. Subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate all of you who come and cheer me on in these lettering videos. And I will catch you next time.